Dormail, home of a great night's sleep.
Star sign is your husband?
He's Pisces. Oh God, I married my nightmare.
You did.
He laughs when I say it. That shows you we're a good team. He doesn't even get offended. I say I married my nightmare, and he goes, "That's right."
Happy
Guys,
Friday.
I just want to say, I've been thinking about it, and I just think it's so amazing that we're still going, that this show, we're still talking to each other, and well, barely, and how much more got actually from just talking and sharing things has meant so much. And I think as a sort of template for the future, as things begin to possibly, hopefully, move forward.
Yeah, things are moving though, aren't they? I do think things are moving.
Can we talk about your wonderful tour next year, please?
Oh yes, Kay Mellor's Fat Friends. Yes. But I'm doing it with Les Dennis. Now, when we listen to this, when we the week that we open, Les told me it will be 40 years to the day that we started on the Russ Abbott show together.
No.
Oh, to the very day.
God.
Oh, isn't that amazing? I mean, it's a bit sad 40 years ago, but hey ho.
Huge congratulations, darling. You
And
deserve it.
Lee Mead, do you know Lee Mead, girls?
Yes, he's gorgeous.
Yes.
Oh, just gorgeous.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say he could be my son. Well, that's really because he's very young. He's very young, so
He's got to be
he's only about 15, you know.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Mind you, I have to say the policemen actually look about 12 now, don't they? Have you noticed?
Can we not talk about policemen?
Why
right
is
now?
that, darling? Why is that?
Can we not talk about policemen looking 12 when it's all too far?
It's true though, isn't it?
But I was mystified because, Sherry, you said it's 40 years, but you're only 35, so I'm bewildered by how this is possible.
Well, I said to Les, I thought he'd been drinking. I said, you've gone a bit doolally, Les. Can't be 40 years ago. 15 years ago, I understand.
There you go. Exactly.
God.
So, Dee, who's our guest today?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's our very good friend, the Wonderbirds friend, the amazing Suzi Quatro.
Suzi Quatro!
Yay! And we're going to play a little bit from Devil in Me. And it's a fabulous track called Do Ya Dance.
Do you dance, mesmerize? Do you dance, hypnotize? Do you dance, don't categorize? Do you dance, hey baby, do you dance? Ow!
Hi.
Hello!
How are you, darling?
My second cup of coffee, so I'm just now with you.
Amazing. Oh, where are you?
I'm in my apartment. We have an apartment here in Mallorca. And in these times, funny enough, now that the times are coming to the end, but in these times, because my husband lives in Hamburg, I live in the UK, and it became easiest, believe it or not, for us to meet in Spain.
I'm sorry you're suffering.
Yeah, it was so many rules easier than me going to Hamburg, coming to England. It was easier to come here. So we ended up coming here a few times. I know it's crazy, but it's coming back. We're all getting sort of semi normal. Yeah.
That's absolutely fantastic. What have you been doing, darling? What's been happening?
I've been working. Obviously, the main thrust of the current album, you know, all the singles came out and all that publicity died down. But now I've got a top secret project, which I can't talk about yet. I'm working. I can't do it, but I will. We'll come back and do another one, working with another lady artist, but I can't speak about it yet. And we are writing for the next album. We're writing for other people, got a production company now.
Oh,
Which
wow.
we're now putting out there on the sites because I can't seem to stop writing. So rather than try to make everything something for me, just spread it out, you know, see, you know, the artists work. I mean,
does it feel like life's coming back a bit for everybody? Theatres are opening, the art seems to be back up and running gradually. Does it feel like that for you?
It does feel like that. But what's the residue, which has lasted, and I'm so glad it is, because I've never been more creative in my life. At midnight, every night for the past 2 weeks, I've written a poem for my next poetry book, and it is flying out of me. I don't even know what is propelling me, but I'm an artiste, so I'm always listening. And like these big, wonderful, oh my God, comments on life and deep down, and I don't know where it's coming from. But
so are you at your happiest, would you say then?
I'm my happiest when I'm creating.
Right. Okay. So this is a good time then.
Oh, a great time. I mean, well, let's put it this way. When I'm on the stage and entertaining, that's my home. That's where I feel
of course.
most comfortable. But if I'm not on the stage, then creating something. It's how I'm wired. And I've been like that since a little girl.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I was listening to an interview you did about you when you were a little girl, and I was just so fascinated because you said, my mother said to you, where are you running? And my mother used to say that to me. And I never knew. I never knew where I was running, but I never stopped. My head never stopped running.
I didn't care where I was running. I just wanted to get there. I'm always in a hurry. I'm terrible, and that is I'm the most impatient person on this planet. I guarantee you. When I'm here, I'm already over there. You know, I'm already there.
Me too. Oh God.
Yeah, impatient. Yep.
Yeah, same.
It's a terrible thing, though.
It drives people crazy, apparently.
Yeah, and you can't settle. I can't settle. I've got to just drive myself.
Susie, Susie, do you think that's a mercurial thing?
Yes.
Yes, because Sherry's also ruled by Mercury because she's a Virgo.
Yeah. I am Virgo, share that. And my little sister is a Virgo, and she's just as impatient. I mean, it's so bad that if you like, let's say, for instance, you want to go see a movie. Okay. Find the movie you want to see, you go to the cinema, and there's a line. You don't go.
No.
And how dumb is this? You know, it's like,
no.
I had the best one ever was we stopped on a tour bus. So like 5 or 6 bands, big tour bus. And we had the little break, you know, where you stopped, you go to the toilet and get your little snacks, whatever you want. And there was a line for the ladies, huge. I looked at that line. I went over to the men's toilet, and I walked right past everybody into a stall, had a wee, and came out. All the bands are going, we don't believe she did that. I'm not waiting in that line just because God worked out our plumbing wrong, you know.
I know.
I salute you.
I walked into a loo once, and I'll tell you now, there was a line of girls, and I stood there and I thought, and eventually I said very loudly, don't you know what to do in there by now? How many of you don't know what to do? You can do it much quicker. And I thought, oh, I just said that.
I have to tell you my very favorite one, and I'll try to make it quick because it is my favorite story of impatience of all time. Famous. So I had my husband drop me off early at the airport. So it was Ryanair, and Ryanair, you can get queues going like 10 blocks. You know? So I said, drop me off early in Hamburg. I was coming home. Got there, wasn't early enough, huge. And me being there, I went, no. So I walked to the third person from the front of the line. And I went, hi, is this the plane to England? Da-di-da-da-di-da-da-di-da-da. And we talked, started a conversation, da-da-da-da-da. And he said to me, about 15, 20 minutes into the conversation, can I ask you a question? So my ego took flight, and I thought he's going to say, are you Suzi Quatro? I got prepared to be the gracious Suzi Quatro. And I said, yes, you can ask me a question. He went, why me? Is that a classic story? And he went, do I look that vulnerable? And I went,
yes.
And he said, okay, you can stay. I said, thank you. What an ego deflation. He didn't care who I was.
You said in this interview I was watching that your dad was a good bullshitter, and that you ended up being a very good bullshitter.
Oh, the best. I pull the do you know who I am card when I want to be upgraded on a flight, when I want a better seat. I do that. And Reiner, my husband, he gets embarrassed, but he takes the benefit.
Absolutely.
Get embarrassed.
We one time bought just because it was such a bargain, because we usually do fly first class, but one time we bought on Virgin real cheap seats. I went up, did my thing. The lady comes up to us on the line and she went, come this way, Miss Quatro, first class. And Reiner just said, I applaud you. He said, for the cheapest seat, we're sitting first class. I said, that's what your name is for.
I love it. Oh my God.
So Susie, I need you to tell me what is going on with us Geminis at the moment.
Wow, where we are going through, it's not easy right now.
Okay.
We're going through a range of emotions, trying to claim back our lives, but at the same time, we are finding ourselves reprioritizing everything.
Ooh.
Things we thought were important aren't so important now. We're battling with our emotions, with love. We're battling with love. Who do we love? Who don't we love? Who are we still going to allow to bother us? This is the lesson Gemini has to be learning right now, to stop. You can't control emotions. Nobody can, but you can control your reaction to your emotions. In other words, you can feel it, but try to rationalize it. So we're now trying to backtrack on these things that hurt us. Because Geminis, even though they have that tough facade, we are so soft inside.
Yeah, exactly. What's your rising sign, Susie?
It's, what is my rising sign? Hang on, I've got a lot of Capricorn. Mine is Libra. But I've got a lot of Capricorn in my chart. So that grounds me, which is good. That keeps me grounded because Geminis can be flighty.
I have no Earth in my chart at all.
You have no
Earth. No
Oh.
Earth.
Oh, then you have a problem with
Yeah,
keeping your feet on the ground. Yeah.
absolutely. I'm flying all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Okay. I have some stuff that keeps me down. Thank goodness. I mean, I've been told by everybody that knows me that I can be exhausting. But I take great pride in that. I think that's a nice thing. And and they don't call me difficult. They call me complicated. It's different than being difficult. Complicated is different. Yeah.
I like complicated.
Oh, me
Well,
too.
I think the thing is that I find I've got so many things that go on in my head that I'm running around all the time, like kind of like you guys were, but you know, sort of chasing my tail. But I've got so much going on, and I love that about being a Gemini. I really like that. And the thing is with Virgos, Sherry, you are very compatible because we're ruled by Mercury. So you, me, and Harriet have all got the same. And not Dee, but Susie, we've all got the same planet. We're all ruled by Mercury, which makes us like, you know, very, very. We like stationary.
Insane.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
insane,
we're
but we
here.
like stationery.
Here all
We
the
like
time.
papers. We like reading. We like all of this
Yeah.
mercurial stuff and talking.
Yeah. We
I
live,
think, yeah.
we live in our head. I mean, the poetry I'm writing right now is just, it's unbelievable. Nietzsche would be comfortable reading it. I mean, I'm going in there. I'm going in there. I got a friend of mine who I'm known for a long time. She started off as a fan, and then as this goes for many years, you become friendly. And she's very much into all words and all that. And actually, she's a Virgo too. And I've been bouncing each poem off her at midnight. She gets a poem, and she's just been going, Jesus Christ.
We'd love to hear those. We'd love that.
I'm going in there. Oh yeah. Explore the depths.
Yeah.
Explore you know, feel your emotion and then analyze why you felt that in the first place. Nothing excites me more. Okay, you feel it, you say, you put it on the paper. Why? Why are you feeling it? Because we're all a mass. Here we go. We're all a mass of triggers.
We are, and energy too. Energy.
Yeah. And Dee, you're a Taurus, aren't you?
No, I'm Aries, going into, on the last day of Aries. So I'm very similar actually in the sort of impatient thing and hating to queue.
Yeah. The fire. But
And
you've
the
got
fiery thing, and
the last day
I
of
have to
Aries.
keep doing stuff all the time, you know, like you, and loads of ideas are always running around in my head, and it's very difficult to sleep sometimes, and you know, it's all that stuff, isn't it? And I so relate to what you said about queuing.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
what you need to do for everybody who has all these ideas, all of you, but you need to, I mean, because I'm Gemini, and this is really hard for me to just stop and focus on one, because Geminis can multitask. I mean, to a ridiculous degree. I can be giving 18 different people at one time and still be on the stage entertaining. This is my brain. I have so many compartments. But the Gemini especially, but even for all of you, you need to find a way. It's a lesson to learn where you can put those blinders on and go into it. You know, and when I'm doing a poem, I actually will block everything else out, and I'll go in there and find out what I'm trying to say and examine it. You got to examine it. It's the same with anger. Oh God, we're having all these philosophical discussions. With anger, for instance, which is a very valuable thing to have. It's a necessary thing to have, but it's also necessary not to keep it inside. That's the worst thing you can do. The worst thing you can do. It's poison. And I find with anger, my little exercise that I do when I'm mad, because Geminis aren't known to be quiet when they're mad.
Fiery.
Not at all. But I find it really good where you just say, I'm really pissed off about this. And there it is. And it's like a little box and it's on the table. There it is. Bang. And you look at it and it's so unimportant. Or if it is important, you can look at it properly and examine it. Inside, you can't see anything. Inside, it's just all swirling and all that. So I'm on for getting it out. You should always speak. Always speak your mind.
Yeah, I always that can always get us into trouble as well, Susie, which I'm sure it's got you into trouble.
All the time.
It does.
I'm in trouble constantly. In fact, when I meet people, again, let's say I'm at the musical, and it happens to me all the time. They go, hi, I met you such and such, maybe 10 years ago. You know what you said to me? And what did I say? So everybody's always remembering what I said. So
Yeah.
What is your husband? What star sign is your husband?
he's Pisces. Oh God, I married my nightmare.
You did.
And he laughs when I say it. That shows you we're a good team. He doesn't even get offended. I say I married my nightmare, and he goes, "That's right."
I was told by a lovely astrologer who I used to work with that the Pisceans are the emotional dustbins of the zodiac.
Totally.
Totally.
Why?
Totally.
Why? What do you mean?
Because they're the last sign. They're the last sign of the zodiac. So it's a case of been there, done that, felt that.
So they're an old person, you mean?
Very old soul.
An old soul.
And they get hurt. They get hurt. The different thing with us, and Ryan and I are so connected that way. He's very soft inside, and to cover that, he's alpha male, which he is alpha male, but he cries easy. But at the same time, he's the warrior. So you've got the real, dichotomy of things, and we are very similar. Neither one of us will back down. We both like to be right. We both cry easy. We both don't have a problem saying sorry. And we both have wicked mouths when we're angry.
I was in love with a Piscean, but he was a very troubled man.
Yeah.
He was troubled with the world. The whole world was always on his shoulders.
Yeah, but this is all Pisceans. This is Atlas shrugged with the world. This is what they're like.
We should have known.
Pisceans take on everything. And if you can get beyond that annoyance of that part of them, it's actually quite beautiful.
No, I loved him very much, but he was so troubled. And he was, I know he was going to ask me to marry him, but he wouldn't, and he couldn't. And he died at 40. So, but he was so troubled inside. He felt that I lived in London and he lived somewhere else, and he felt that it would be wrong, and it wasn't. But I was too young to say to him, because I was 10 years younger, and I was too young to understand a Piscean, to be honest.
You have Piscean is like, and Reiner was not even my type. And never would I go for a Pisces. But as I let him in, as I opened the door, I found out he was a book, and I wanted to read a page a day.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Wow. What a lovely thing to say.
That is a
lovely thing to say about somebody.
Beautiful. That's beautiful, Susie.
Do you think, though, that we have types? Because I look at my interesting history, and everyone's different. And there isn't there's idealistic types. You can think somebody, a type of person is handsome, but the people that I don't limit myself to one type of person. If they make me laugh, that's something.
That's it.
That's the beginning.
Mine's up here with Gemini. It's this very Gemini thing. Unless you touch my brain, you ain't touching anywhere else.
Yeah.
I like that.
Exactly right.
I'm going to quote that.
I wish I'd have done that when I was young.
Susie,
you're not touching that, mate.
Susie, can I ask you a personal question? How long have you been married to this man?
28 years.
Wow.
Wow.
And you still like him?
I love him.
Oh my goodness, that is so
I
lovely.
wrote him a poem yesterday. That's one of the best poems I ever wrote. But I have the little rule, and this is another Gemini trait. I don't tell somebody I love them until they tell me first.
Ah,
It's self-preservation.
absolutely.
And what you're doing is you're bullshitting yourself. And that's like my 11th commandment, thou shalt not bullshit thyself. Anyway, but I remember Reiner took me to Egypt, was my dream trip. His first trip he took me on. We're not married. And he put his hand on mine in front of the Sphinx. And he said, I love you. And I went, whoa, I still hadn't told him yet. We got back to England. We were having dinner, so I still hadn't told him. And I just remember, this is the what you call it, falling off the cliff moment, which we all have had. So we're having dinner, and I made a smart aleck comment in English. It was a very clever one-liner. And my brain went, Suzi, what's the matter with you? He's not going to get that. English is not his first language. He looked at me, answered me, and then he went, done. So in other words, I got you and I'm bettering you. And I was like over the cliff and I was in love. I remember falling. Yeah. He touched here. Yeah.
Suzi, you travel all over the place and you live in different places. Is there one place that you feel is home, or is it wherever you are at that moment?
Oh God, that's such a hard question to answer. Detroit will always be home in my heart, you know, where I grew up. I can't get rid of that.
Yeah.
I go back there every time I go home. I go in the house and I look at everything. It's my heart. I left America at 21. Where I've lived now since 1980, I very much put down roots and I love that house. Okay, Detroit's my spiritual home. In the UK, that's my home. I love it there. When I come back from a trip, I go, hello, and I say hello to them, you know.
Wow. Hello, Rain.
Yeah,
Rain, grey skies and cold.
yeah. You don't go to England. You don't go to England for the weather.
No.
No.
Oh,
But you've
God.
got
Are you kidding?
Mallorca. I love
know, you
Mallorca.
gotta be kidding.
Whereabouts in Mallorca are you, Suzi?
We're in Bendinette, and this is our neutral zone, we call it,
Yeah.
Right.
because Hamburg is his house.
Yeah.
England is my house. So we're kind of both in charge of our own little things. And here,
Oh,
neutral.
best
Oh,
way.
nice.
I
And
love
Suzi,
Gaia.
you've got a big tour coming up, haven't you? With some exciting news
Yeah,
for
we
the
got
UK.
next year we start, because everything got moved again. I had one gig at the Peterborough Showground, which was fantastic. And we had 3 in Denmark, sold out solo shows, which I love, my 2-hour solo shows, all sold out, fantastic.
Wow.
And now everything's been moved to 222. And the big one coming up is April 20th, Royal Albert Hall.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Oh, yes.
Wow. We're talking about star signs. That's actually my birthday. So I'm going to
No.
make sure. Yep. We're all sitting in the front row, Suzi.
We'll be there, Suzi.
Well, be prepared to work, because nobody sits on their ass at my shows, okay?
No,
Good.
no, we won't be. We'll be
We
up
are-
there
are,
with
we
you.
are such big fans, Suzi. We really
Yes.
are.
Thank you.
Massive.
So your tour isn't till 2022.
We are doing, let me see, lots in Europe, lots in Germany, Holland, Spain, Ireland, Sweden. We go to Australia at the end of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's everything was moved, so it's full. Boy, my
Yeah.
diary's full. Jeez.
Whereabouts are you in Sweden?
Good question. Stockholm,
Oh yeah.
Wow. Love it.
How
Yes.
wonderful.
Circus
exciting.
Arena. Yeah, oh yeah, that'll be good. And the theater. I like the theater shows where, because I do my 2-hour shows now, which I love, with an interval. And at the theater shows, you can have them seated, so you can take them on the journey, and then you can go nutso at the end, you know, which I love to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suzi, tell us the date for the Albert Hall again.
April 20th, 2022.
I
Right.
don't
Dee's
think we'll be able to
birthday.
forget that, Dee, because it's Sherry, because it's Dee's birthday.
Yes,
so I
and
think
we'll
she
put
might be
that up on
reminding
our
us.
Wonderbirds thing as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So we'll get the Wonderbirds there. Suzi, we are so honoured that you come back and see us so regularly.
We
will love
all
it.
of
Do it again.
Please
Next
do.
time, I'll read a couple poems for you. will
Yes,
I?
Yes,
please.
yes,
Yes.
do.
Please.
I think I'll
Absolutely
write.
do.
I'm gonna write. Wait, what star signs do we have? I'm gonna write a Gemini poem.
Virgo.
I'm going to write a Virgo poem. I'm going to write an Aries poem. And do we have a Taurus there?
No, it's just all then Geminis.
Right, Gemini, Virgo.
Aries.
I shall write 3 poems and I shall read them for you.
how
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Come back soon, Susie. We love you. We adore you.
We need you in our
We
lives.
do love you.
See you later, guys.
Bye,
Have a
darling.
good day.
I'm
Bye-bye.
treasuring your
Bye-bye.
11th commandment. That's all I'm saying. Oh, she's gone. Her 11th commandment, do not bullshit yourself. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
No, I like that. Don't
Absolutely.
bullshit. You can bullshit anybody, but not yourself.
Yes.
Correct.
I'm going to
You know what?
keep
That
that
was-
by my bed. Don't bullshit yourself,
I
Sherry.
feel very, very enlightened after that conversation.
I
don't
do.
know
I
why.
just
Brilliant.
Positivity.
she's always been an inspiration, hasn't she? And I mean,
Yeah.
she is very
And
inspirational.
I
all the
wanted to
stuff.
ask her about do you know the Elvis story? That he
Oh, well,
asked
ask
her
her
at,
that.
he asked
yes.
her to Gracelands.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't go.
Well,
Absolutely wouldn't go.
Sherry, keep
We'll
that
ask
up
her
your
next
sleeve.
time.
Next time.
Yes.
Next time.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful.
I'm intrigued.
That really was an injection of energy and fun, and I don't know, it just was
Wasn't it?
amazing.
Well-being.
Well, yes, it
Oh,
was just,
goodness.
I love her so much. And something that I did mean to say at the beginning of the show is that obviously Sherry didn't get the blue memo today.
No.
Oh, you're right. But Dee's got a red hat on.
True. To
I would
match.
also say I think Sherry does get the blue memo and chooses red.
Lady in red.
Yes, because I don't bullshit myself, you see.
You see?
You do not, darling. That's one thing I would say about you. You do not bullshit yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's really
With that, we will
brilliant and on
see
the
you.
front
We
foot.
will see you next week with some fantastic guests.
Yes.
Yeah.
See you next week, girls.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Dormail, home of a great night's sleep.